They won't teach you in your government schools, but every major economic and financial collapse is planned. It doesn't happen by accident. I covered this in my book, Shemitah Trends, available for free to Dollar Vigilante subscribers or on Amazon, and we began to uncover their occult timeline for financial collapses with the Shemitah and Jubilee this decade. By any measure, we're now at the most extreme time in history in money, finance, banking, equities, bonds, real estate, and other sectors. We've never seen money printing across the board like we've seen in the last decade. Interest rates are at record lows and even at ludicrous negative rates in some countries. They've never been lower in 5,000 years. By almost any measure, the U.S. stock market is at or past extremes, like the price-sales ratio, which has never been higher. U.S. government debt has doubled in the last 8 years, like a banana republic, and has gone nearly hockey stick. All of these extremes can't continue to go further into extremes forever, and will all have to come crashing down. But when? That's the billion-dollar question. I'd say million-dollar question, but $1 million barely buys you a house in the U.S. anymore. As always, I look for the clues directly from those who currently control the world for the answers, and I keep gravitating back to this Rothschild-owned Economist magazine front cover from 1988. How could the globalist bankers plan 30 years ahead for a massive change in the monetary system, you might ask? Well, look no further than Bilderberg, where decades before the Eurozone and Euro currency were created, they were in planning for it. With nearly everything at historic extremes, something has to crack soon. Could 2018 be the planned year for it? A total currency reset and ushering in of a new world currency? Some crackpots on the internet believe Bitcoin is a globalist invention. They clearly don't understand power, control, or what Bitcoin is. If they did, they'd know that Bitcoin is the antidote to the New World Order, not the gateway. That's because most of their power resides over control of the issuance of currency, which they cannot control with Bitcoin. Instead, what their game plan might be is to put trillions of dollars into Bitcoin to blow it up to massive extremes. Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan has hinted at it going to $100,000 before going to zero. Saxo Bank also just released their outrageous predictions for 2018, in which they say Bitcoin will be thrown to the wolves. In it, they say, Bitcoin peaks in 2018 with Bitcoin above $60,000 and a market capitalization of over $1 trillion as the advent of the Bitcoin futures contract in December 2017 leads to a groundswell of involvement by investors and funds that are more comfortable trading futures than tying up funds on cryptocurrency exchanges. China launches an officially backed cryptocurrency that entails less energy-intensive mining. The smoother functioning of the state-run protocols for actual payments and price stability, as well as the heavy hand of state intervention, drives a decreasing interest in all cryptocurrencies and completely sidelines the Bitcoin and crypto phenomenon from a price speculation angle, even as the technological promise of the blockchain gallops on. After its spectacular peak in 2018, Bitcoin crashes and limps into 2019 close to its fundamental production cost of $1,000. They predict, similar to Jamie Dimon, that Bitcoin will rise to $60,000 and then be burnt at the stake by the governments and central banks and end up at $1,000. And Danielle DiMartino Booth, who spent 9 years as an advisor to Richard Fisher at the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, was recently asked, would governments necessarily allow private-based cryptocurrencies to coexist with government-based cryptocurrencies? The following was her response. I would have to say no. What we have seen with the parabolic 1,000-point increase, and we are at 1,000 points at 8:26 p.m. Eastern Time on November 29th, Bitcoin crossed the $10,000 mark, and it didn't even take it 12 hours to go across the $11,000 mark. What we are witnessing is clearly a bubble that is going to implode on its own weight. I think we can all hopefully agree on that. We are all adults in the room. But I think that central bankers know, good and well, that once these cryptocurrency bubbles burst, laying in their wake will be a very refined technology that allows central bank cryptocurrencies to rise up where they have left off. To your question, do I think that they will be allowed to coexist? I think not. In other words, a connected insider is also of the view that the game plan is for Bitcoin to crash, whether by design or not, and then to implement their own fiat cryptocurrency backed by violence and use violence to try to stop people from using non-state cryptocurrencies. This makes me believe that the globalists have chosen Bitcoin to be the fall guy for the coming collapse, one in which they will then institute their own fiat cryptocurrency that they can control and issue. Interestingly, on the front cover of The Economist from 1988, the phoenix standing in a pile of burning fiat notes has a coin with the number 10 on it around its neck, and the title says, "Get ready for a world currency." That 10 could also be construed to be a 1 and a 0, or in other words, binary, computer code. But if so, how could they have known that this would happen at this time, 2018, before the internet even existed in 1988? Some speculate that the globalists use black magic to foresee the future. Some also speculate that they know secrets to creating reality. In fact, we all create reality. The law of attraction is one example. Perhaps they tried to create reality, but because it's an imperfect art, they accidentally created Bitcoin, which could potentially take down their entire system. How beautiful would that be? In any case, it's becoming quite clear that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have been chosen as the scapegoat for the coming pre-planned collapse. If so, they'll have to increase the size of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency bubble much larger than the current $450 billion market capitalization in order for it to be believable. The dot-com bubble was $10 trillion, so they'd have to pump the crypto markets at least another 5 to 10 times higher to get it anywhere near the same ballpark. Bitcoin at 5 times higher than its current level brings it in line with Jamie Dimon's $100,000 before it implodes level. We'll see soon enough how things play out. I expect 2018 will see cryptocurrencies go parabolic, followed by a spectacular historical crash of all markets. If so, we'll be ready and prepared to profit from it. You can prepare and profit from it too by subscribing to the Dollar Vigilante newsletter in the links below. We just released the December issue yesterday, and it's packed with over 50 pages of information on how to survive and profit during and after the dollar collapse.
The most important and profitable investment conference in the world is returning in February 2018. In 2016, the TDV Internationalization and Investment Conference, led by world-famous investor and freedom fighter Jeff Berwick, focused on Bitcoin when it was at $400. It also focused on gold mining stocks, featured by Ed Bugos, which ended up gaining hundreds of % that year. In 2017, the TDV Summit focused heavily on cryptocurrencies. Many speakers pounded the table to buy Bitcoin at $1,000. It has since hit $10,000. And others focused on other cryptos, such as Dash, which was $20 at the time and is currently over $600. If you attended the last 2 years and took advantage of all the information you learned, you would have become wealthy. And on February 19th, the TDV Internationalization and Investment Conference is back. Speakers include Jeff Berwick, who will give out his next cryptocurrency and ICO picks, as well as laying out how to internationalize your lifestyle to become a prior taxpayer using the 5-flag lifestyle and cryptocurrencies. TDV's senior analyst Ed Bugos will lay out his gold mining stock picks for 2018, as well as what he foresees for the markets as a whole. David Morgan, the most respected silver analyst in the world, will give his insights on where silver is headed in 2018. Vix Ware of RoadToRuta.com will expand on cryptocurrencies and precious metal strategies. Other speakers include G. Edward Griffin, Jeffrey Tucker, Roger Ver, Trace Mayer, and more. The TDV Summit is held on February 19th, and we recommend coming to Anarchapulco from February 15th to 17th, and Cryptopulco on February 18th, for 5 straight days of freedom, inspiration, investment ideas, analysis, and recommendations. You can find out more at tdvinvestmentsummit.com.